Another beautiful day. Ain't a cloud in the sky. Why is that no one pays attention to that blue sign right there? Spin scooter. These hillbillies or whatever. Birds. Bio. This one in the street. Nobody's paying attention to any of the rules. It's supposed to be parked down there with the rest. Why are these here? This is where I vote at. Alright? People think because they're sitting over here with a food truck on the other side of the sidewalk right here, they're 50 feet from the building. But what they don't understand is they gotta be 50 feet from that curb right there. You can't be sitting where that car is. That fence up there gotta be 50 feet away from it. Not 50 feet from the building.
What bothers us more than anything else is a seeming signal from the top, which is, this really isn't all that bad. Get over it.
I'm Morris Diggs, Fox 5 News.
Committee to consider whether becoming a separate jurisdiction, whether that was even possible. Former Georgia Attorney General Sam Olin says the process would be legally complex.
Simply thinking that you're going to go from a section of the city to become a new city as a panacea is far from the real issues at hand. Annexations are very controversial. They're very difficult from both a financial and infrastructure perspective.
I think it's important to be able to give people the opportunity to determine how they want to govern themselves.
Representative Jones's bill will be on the 2022 legislative agenda.
New details. Just announced her candidacy. She is currently a senior counselor for Denton's and has worked on high-profile projects like Pond City Market and Krog Street Market. She also served on the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. Gay joins the race with Atlanta City Council President Felicia Moore. Both will be trying to defeat current mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. That election is in November.
That's crazy.
This is not what you want to see when you leave the grocery store. Those are honeybees, thousands of them swarming a parked car at a supermarket in New Mexico. According to the local fire department, the driver reportedly put his groceries in the car and started to drive off before noticing the swarm. He called 911. Thankfully, he was not seriously hurt.
While two Korean battery rivals wage a PR campaign, people here in Jackson County wait to see what's going to happen to their promised battery plant and all those green jobs. New details straight ahead.
Over allegations it stole trade secrets from another Korean competitor to build the plant.
Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis says that the legal dispute between two rivals has taken the shine off of what was supposed to be a jobs jackpot for North Georgia.
It has been judged already that they did wrong.
Longtime Jackson County families like the Schaefers no longer have the energy to talk positively about batteries.
It's kind of dimmed the light a little bit for the community.
People were excited.
How about now?
No.
Surprising talk for a community that's supposed to benefit from a future $2.6 billion neighbor and thousands of promised green jobs. But in February, SK Battery's parent company, SKI, suffered a huge embarrassment. A federal trade panel ruled the company tried to destroy evidence it stole 22 trade secrets from a Korean rival, LG. The punishment? A 10-year ban on the battery technology SK is accused of stealing. SK denies doing anything wrong, instead urging the White House to veto that ruling. Otherwise, an SK spokesperson told Reuters, "We are reviewing options to move our U.S. battery production to Europe or China."
It's a terrible situation that what they've done to LG. It reflects your morals and your values as a company.
That leaves the future of this plant in the hands of President Biden. Does he uphold the ruling, potentially putting all those jobs at risk, or does he reverse the ruling, possibly setting a bad precedent by ignoring a company's bad behavior? Many Georgia politicians are lobbying on behalf of SK, worried that punishing the company would force the country to rely more on Chinese-made batteries for the growing electric vehicle market. Meanwhile, LG took out this full-page newspaper ad in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, dangling the possibility Georgia might get one of its 2 new battery plants planned for the U.S.
No matter what SKI does, we will not leave the state of Georgia without jobs.
Denise Gray is the president of LG Energy Solutions in Michigan. She says her company is ready to provide the batteries SK is supposed to be building in Jackson County for the new Ford F-150 electric pickup and VW SUV. The government ruling
Gwinnett County.
Fox 5's Alex Whitler spoke exclusively to the father, who says another child was home at the time and was spared.
Atif Muhammad says it's a miracle his 8-year-old son was unharmed during a shooting that left his mother and older brother dead at the end of March. But he says he's concerned about the child's mental health, considering he was there when loved ones found the victims. In an instant, this large, tight-knit family was ripped apart.
He took what's most precious from me.
It's Atif Muhammad. He's still plagued by the death of his 15-year-old son, little Atif, and his wife, Mary Lindsay.
I haven't been getting much sleep because I just keep thinking about their final moments and they keep haunting me.
Gwinnett police responded to a call Friday, March 26th. When they arrived, they found the mother and son shot to death. The shooter took off and was eventually arrested on his way to Mexico. Weeks later, Muhammad revealed his daughter found the mother and son locked in a bedroom in their home. He was on FaceTime with her as she made the grim discovery.
Start screaming hysterically. And my son like kind of runs after her, like, and she grabs him, and all I see is the phone is like a bad camera.
The little boy was asleep at the time of the shooting and remained home for 2 days, not knowing the fate of his mother or brother.
His mom was violently taken from him while he was in the house. He has to grow up with that. That's going to affect him.
Father says little Atif was a gentle giant with a knack for technology.
A budding engineer, man. The computer I got out of his room, he built from scratch.
He says his wife, Mary, was his best friend.
Mary was the sweetest woman you could ever imagine meeting. She made everybody comfortable.
What's left of this large family is now closer than ever because of an unimaginable tragedy that Muhammad says still feels unreal.
Your family close. Tell your family that you love them.
Mr. Muhammad says he's working on finding a counselor for his children. Investigators did make an arrest. That was last week. Alex Whitler, Fox 5 News.
The president says he plans to push as hard as he can to change our nation's infrastructure. Senator Manchin says there are at least 6 other Democrats who disagree with the corporate tax proposal. To get the bill through the Senate, the president will need all Democrats to approve. Meantime, President Biden's approval rating seems to be going down as the number of migrants at the southern border goes up.
Fox's Lauren Blanchard has the latest details on the relentless crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border.
The White House releasing a new video of President Biden welcoming newly naturalized American citizens.
Every immigrant comes from America from different circumstances and for different reasons. But you all have one thing in common: courage.
A new Associated Press NORC poll shows while a majority of Americans approve of President Biden's job performance as a whole, when it comes to immigration, only 42% approve, 56% disapprove. And in terms of border security, 55% disapprove, following a massive wave of migrants attempting to illegally cross the southern border.
There's no question this is a difficult challenge, and the president believes he was elected to address hard problems.
Now, Customs and Border Protection say they believe up to 184,000 unaccompanied migrant children could show up at the border in 2021.
The Border Patrol agents, as well as our law enforcement partners, are doing everything we can. Our resources are just stretched awfully thin right now.
According to the poll, poll, 40% of Americans disapprove of the administration's handling of the migrant kids.
Our focus is not on looking at the poll. It is on implementing solutions.
I think President Biden just doesn't care. I think he plans on admitting between 2 and 3 million illegal immigrants into our country this year.
Lawmakers in both parties are also focused on the issue. Republican Senator Bill Hagerty is calling on the president to increase immigration and customs enforcement funding. Democrat Tom Carper leading a delegation of lawmakers to see the border Monday evening. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
New designs recently in efforts to stay competitive. This includes their wing model, which has 2 screens. Now, the move did not gain enough traction to sustainably take on their competitors. And GM is making moves to lower its carbon footprint, but in a surprising way. They're bringing back the Hummer, but this time the gas-guzzling vehicle will be electric, and the SUV will have a 250-mile range. Now, it does come with a pretty hefty price tag that could cost consumers more than $110,000, but if you're convinced, don't reach for your wallet just yet. The SUV won't be available for purchase until 2023. That's your Business Brief. I'm Andy Hirschfeld in New York.
Of the force died Friday after 25-year-old Noah Green rammed his car into him and another officer before hitting a barricade near the Capitol. Green then exited the car armed with a knife and charged at another officer before he was fatally shot. Police initially believed the suspect may have stabbed Evans, but sources say that was not the case. There were also rumors that Evans may have been struck by friendly fire when police started shooting at the suspect, but that has also reportedly been ruled out. A motive for the attack remains under investigation, but sources say Green suffered from delusions, paranoia, and suicidal thoughts. The attack came at a time of sex crimes, including paying for underage girls to have sex with him and cross state lines. He maintains the allegations are false and that he never slept with an underage girl or paid for sex. Gates has also suggested that accusations against him stem from political foes angry that he loathed the swamp, a term President Donald Trump and allies like Gates used to describe Washington. Gates' comments were published the same day a former congressional aide told reporters he was interviewed last week by the FBI.
On absentee ballots virtually eliminated and effectively allowing non-citizens to vote. The list goes on. Every illegal vote cancels someone's legitimate vote, like yours. Tell your senators your vote matters. Tell them to vote no on Senate Bill 1.